Hello, new episode. We're now talking with Ray, our friend.
What's going on, bro?
How are you?
Good, good. How about yourself?
Very good.
All right.
So tell us, what did you come here to share?
Whatever you want to know.
Awesome.
That's what we're here for, man.
Nice, dude. Tell us about your background. How was your childhood like?
Childhood, it was all right. I had good people there, good support. You know what I mean? We could get deep into it if you want to, but like I said, it was all right. It was average, if you want to say.
Okay. What was the spark that started it all?
I guess the new friends I started making and the transition on moving on to other things from what I was doing as a kid, pretty much. And as far as deaths and families, you know what I mean, that affected a lot in the way a lot of things changed, you know what I mean? Because it changed not just me, but it changed like a lot of people also. So that took a big toll in what happened, so pretty much.
Okay, what age are we talking about here?
I don't know. I can start remembering probably like 10 years old.
Okay.
That was like a big one, loss of mother, at that age.
What happened, dude?
She got hit by a tow truck, and pretty much she survived. And yeah, all I can say is she was going through therapy throughout the time, probably for a couple months. And yeah, she just gave up, you know what I mean? And she's in glory now.
Couldn't resist no more, probably, Like,
it was her time,
exactly.
We all got our time.
Okay, man. So how did this find you? How was your reality now after this?
Not really much, because at the same time we were kids. You know what I mean? So nothing changed. We were still kids. We had a grandma. I had an aunt that took care of me, which I consider a mother. Her husband that raised me, my aunt's husband, pretty much, he's the one that I consider a father figure, because also my real dad was never in the picture.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty much. It was, that was childhood, you know what I mean? But we didn't look at it like it was bad, because we didn't know nothing from it, you know what I mean? We were just kids living life.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't know if we have it hard or not, right?
I guess, you know what I mean?
Until we start comparing.
So you're on your own,
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I said, my aunt, she took toll of everything that was going on, took me, my grandma took my little brother. So, my aunt had kids, you know what I mean? So I got brothers too, obviously, and we could get into that one. But my aunt had kids and stuff like that, like 2 sons and 2 daughters. So at that point, since they had raised me already, I considered them as a brother and a sister. So like I said, there was always somebody around, for support, or it's gonna be all right. I was raised with my aunt already.
Okay.
Because my mom also, like my dad wasn't in the picture, my mom took another toll in life where she was irresponsible to have me and my little brother in good, how do I say, in a good place.
Okay. So you were already with your aunt then?
Pretty much, yeah, since like birth, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, man. All right. So how was high school then?
High school was fun. Yeah, it was dope.
What were you listening to?
Oh, whoa, at high school. Man, in high school, to be honest with you, at that time, Lil Wayne, everybody was jocking Lil Wayne.
Was it Jay-Z's time too or not?
It's just nobody listens to Jay-Z in Chicago. Cool. That's my opinion, though. Don't hate me for that.
So tell me, when is it that you started like not doing what you were supposed to?
Probably like around 7th grade. You know what I mean? Like I said, in the transition when everything had changed, you know what I mean? We're moving around and you know what I mean? Still Chicago, still the same neighborhood. But like I said, it was just, everything changed probably like around 7th grade. Around there, that's when it took a turnaround.
What did you start doing?
Started smoking weed.
Okay.
Simple, well, not simple, but at that time, it was like real bad to smoke weed. I'm 34 years old now. Now it's legal. You can smoke it everywhere. You can find it everywhere.
Okay. So it's just a bad crowd then that got you a little deviated.
Yeah, you could say.
Okay. So what can you tell us about when you hit rock bottom? When was that point?
This is gonna get good. Rock bottom. Uh, I was a alcoholic, so I'm a recovered alcoholic right now.
How old are you now?
I'm 34.
All right. No, no, at that point.
When I started drinking, I seen that the drinking got heavier around 2012. Let me see. At that time, I was probably like 14, 15. Um, Started drinking at parties, going out, to house party with friends. So it was just a cool thing, And yeah, 2012 hit. My grandma passed away, and that was a big that was my backbone type stuff at that time, Like I was saying, we grew up with my grandma and my aunt, so for her to leave was just all like a twist. But at that time, I just kept drinking as a party, and how do I say it? Like I didn't notice that it was bad. You know what I mean? Everybody was having fun, everybody was doing their thing, and pretty much it just became out of control thing. I just started drinking every day. So I met the mother of my kids already drinking. So to me and to everybody, it was cool. You know, and but for me, the party never stopped. The party just kept going, and pretty much I ended up having kids, and I would try to stop, but I didn't want to stop. I just loved the liquor. Lost a lot of relationships to it, burned a lot of bridges, lost jobs, crashed a lot of cars. You know what I mean? So pretty much I ended up, how do I say, like, yeah, I just kept drinking and drinking. Even though everything was going on like that, I just kept drinking and drinking. And then pretty much I didn't want to give it up, so I lost the family to it. Lost the kids, lost the house, lost the cars. I was just living in a dark place for a real long time.
Was this triggered by something specific besides the grandma passing away?
I don't know. I could tell you, to be honest with you, one thing about a recovered alcoholic is like not to blame a situation on something else. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's your action. You know what I'm saying? So
As cold as it sounds.
yeah, it is. So it's all like, are you willing or are you not willing? Do you want to die or don't you want to die? What do you want to do with yourself? So pretty much, you know what I mean? I just kept in a dark place. I tried stopping and I will go right back. I will fool everybody and tell them, oh, I'm not drinking no more. I was just hiding bottles everywhere. And pretty much I just kept drinking and drinking, and then I just hit a hole where I was even staying at parks.
When did you find out or admit that it was a problem?
I didn't want to admit to it, to be honest with you. How do I say it? Like, I just lived in doubt for a long time. You know what I mean? So that's why.
Denial.
Yeah, denial was a good one. That's all it's about, the denial. It's in the 12 steps, but I didn't get too much into the 12 steps. A lot of people did. I did study the big book, the blue book for AA, but I just didn't live off it. It wasn't me. You know what I mean? So I don't judge it. I don't knock it. But for me, I just chose, to do what I was happy with. So pretty much, and to this day, it's only going to be 3 years that I'm sober, and relationships are still building. Things are still falling in play. But I'll tell you what, I'm not where I'm at where I was 3 years ago.
Man, it is such an incredible story. But tell us, you are being such a straight person to yourself. Does that come easy? Or what did you have to do to actually know that you were in denial and that you were not even actually trying to stop it?
I don't know, to be honest with you. That's a hard question because, sometimes I ask myself the same question and I get asked the same question, like, what did you do? And it's different for everybody, you know what I mean? And for me, I guess, not even living in a park was a stop to it, you know what I mean? Because that's what I wanted to do.
Were you car camping?
No, I was just staying in.
Like at the bench?
Yeah, I just wanted to drink. If it was nice outside, I was breaking night, And it was just, how'd I say, it was just something crazy because coming from having a family, you know what I mean? And from people knowing who I was, and you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I was Mr. Famous. But, you know, from going from people knowing from what you do to losing it all just for a bottle, you know? So now it's all like, since I've been recuperated and still, because I'm not fighting day by day. This is not a fight for me, you know what I mean? I don't desire this alcohol no more, so I don't fight day by day. You know what I mean? I don't live day by day. You know, I just live by God. You know, if I sin, we're all gonna sin. We're only human. You know what I mean? Sorry, God. But at the end of the day, I don't take it as an advantage to sin. But that's how it is, man.
So you don't feel the craving then?
No.
Dude, that is just amazing because that's one of the base or foundations from the AA program, that you accept yourself as someone who is sick and will never get well, you know? This is something totally different.
Yeah.
So tell me, how long did you spend living on the bench or on the park?
Man, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I spent the whole summer, like, just, you know, going to an aunt's house, taking a shower every day over there, getting some food, and going right back.
Wow,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Committed to it.
Yeah, dude.
So did family say anything?
They were tired of it, dude. I'm telling you, once I lost everything, you know what I mean? Nobody wanted to do nothing with me. I was not welcome nowhere.
So they had said it all then.
Yeah, it was over with. You know, I had no support.
How did you feel at this place?
I didn't care. All I wanted to do was drink at the time. You know what I mean? But that's all that there was, you know?
It's so freeing that you say it like this because there is no going back to that, you know? Like,
There's not.
Exactly.
There's
That's
not.
why you're so confident. You
Yeah,
know? Like
there's not.
you have been there, got t-shirt, not interested in it anymore.
No,
At all.
no, not at all.
I see it in your face.
Yeah, there's nothing that could bring me back to that stage. With life, how it's been going now, no,
That's so cool.
not at all.
Man. So how about friends? Did you find people that would like stay true and
Yeah.
not play cool with you?
As far as I like play cool or play not cool, as far as like while I was drunk.
No, I mean play not cool because you were not doing things that would help yourself.
Yeah, there was friends that were actually like they didn't want me to drink. They would tell me to stop drinking, but they got tired of it too. Like, you know what? He doesn't even want to help himself. Why should we care? So they, you know, they got lost in the mix too. My thing was alcohol. Like, I loved it. You know what I mean? All I wanted was a shot or two or three. You know what? The whole bottle. I need another one. Pretty much, that's what it was.
All right. So, what do you think is the difference between somebody that wants to and has not been able to?
I got some text messages on my phone from somebody I went to school with. I'm not gonna put his business out here, but he asked me the same question, man. That what did I do? You know, and I just started talking to him on the process of what I did and all the mistakes I went through and stuff like that. And I don't know, you know, I can't really tell somebody on what to do as far as like, oh, this is what you got to do to be in a good life, because I don't know the next person's situation. You know, my rock bottom was rock bottom in a whole different way. This rock bottom for somebody else could be in a different way, you know? So the best bet for me to do in that situation is just like be a support, you know what I mean? More of a like, do this, you know? So it's like, all right, let's try this. Instead of like, oh no, you have to do this in order for you to stay well, you know, when it comes down to this, because it's critical. You're dealing with people in depression. You're dealing with people that are willing to kill themselves over the littlest thing. So, you know, coming at these people, or not even people, coming at somebody like that was me, you know what I mean, is very effective trying to be that guy to like, oh, you have to do this, you know. So it's more of a, I'll support a person if they need help.
Cool. All right. So companionship instead
Yeah.
of guidance.
Yeah, more call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Why? You trying to kill yourself? All right, cool. Sit down. We can talk this out type dude. You know what I mean?
Cool. Be with you too. Spend
If
time.
I gotta go your way, if you're close by, and if you know what I mean, I can make it happen, then let's make it happen. But sometimes you can't. How do I say it? You know what I mean? You can't give up your life on what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because the next person doesn't want to help himself. It's as bad as it sounds. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna get nowhere. You know?
You're struggling too, right?
Exactly. You can only help so much.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, man. So what happened after you knew you wanted to get well?
I went to rehab.
How long did you spend there?
I went to rehab. Wow, I went to rehab like for 3 years straight. But the whole 3 years I was going and relapsing, going back. The only reason I was going was because it had a bed and it was winter time.
Convenient.
Real convenient.
Perfect
3
timing.
meals. You know, what else do you want?
All right, all right.
You know what I mean? So that's how that one happened. I went to one for a month, got out, went to a sober living, relapsed, started doing the whole thing again, went back to the same thing, same rehab for a month, same sober living, did the same thing. And I went out for a binge for about 4 years, 5 years probably, the whole COVID time. Just every day drinking.
Flat out. Wow, man.
And then I went to another rehab for 6 months. Went on my first pass, relapsed. Ended up in Florida. Fucked up a relationship over there. And lost a good friend pretty much over that. And went to the same rehab again for another 6 months. And pretty much this last time, I guess, was it. I guess I hit it like on the nail. Because I'm about to be 3 years now in January 15th.
How was self-dialogue at that moment? What did you tell yourself there?
I kept telling myself I was the man, even though I was the fucking in the hole. You know what I mean? That's where I kept messing up. I kept trying to be that guy. You know what I mean? That I wanted to be that guy, or you know what I mean, that I once was. You know what I mean? And it wasn't happening. You know what I mean? But I kept telling myself that. So it was like how you said, denial. Like, no, you're not an alcoholic. You're just having fun.
So you had relapse on your back still, and you didn't realize it was an addiction yet. Okay. What took yourself to understand that it was an addiction?
I just seen every time I drink, everything was going downhill. Nothing good was coming from it after it. I wasn't even getting the pleasure of being drunk no more. You know what I mean? It was more I was drinking to black out. Okay. So it was to that point. So it was all like, dude, I wasn't me. I was just a whole different person. You know what I mean? I wasn't Ray Smiley. I was just another cluck from the street. You know what I mean? That nobody wanted nothing to do with. Nobody wanted to look my way, and pretty much, but it was because of my actions too.
Who did you hang out with at that moment?
Oh, I was hanging out with bums, drunks. You know what I mean? People that had no future for themselves. People that just wanted to drink all day. People with no jobs.
How would you see yourself in that situation? Like, what would you think when you thought about where you were?
As far as was I thinking of having fun or?
No, just like hanging out with people that were sharing those things in common.
Oh, at the moment I loved it. You know what I mean? I loved it. I was living the life. I was in my neighborhood, you know what I mean? Drinking with my buddies. Oh, we're the shit. You know what I mean? We're the bomb. We're the next big thing. But in reality, it was just drowning me. You know what I mean?
So when was it that you had no relapses ever after?
It happened in January 15, 2023.
Tell me about that day.
I flew in from Florida, and I went back to the same rehab I was prior to that I had this 6 months. I had went on a pass, relapsed right after that first pass. And thanks to them, I gave them a call back, and they were willing to have me back,
Who?
The people from where I was at the rehab,
Okay.
as far as like the people that ran the program and stuff like that,
Okay.
they were like, yeah, come on, Ray. You know what I mean? And pretty much, I was a broken person at that moment, you know?
Did something specific happen, or just a realization that you needed to change?
At that moment, I knew I needed to change. I was having seizures. If I didn't drink, I was out of shakes. I couldn't hold the cup straight, you know?
So it was almost medical then. You needed it to live.
Yeah, I was going to the hospital on seizure effects. Like, I'm about to have it. Like, I knew I was gonna have it already, you know. And pretty much the doctor told me it was either you're gonna die, Ray. You know, it's either you choose to not drink or you choose to drink. But either way, you pick. It's your choice. And still at that, it didn't stop me. I kept going.
Was it so hard physically to stop?
Hell yeah, it was, dude. That's all I wanted. I didn't love nobody in this world more than I loved that bottle at the time prior. That was my everything.
So it gets like that. It gets to that point.
Yeah, like it's better than your wife type stuff. You know what I mean? Once you hit that point, it's better than anything you want or you think you wanted. Once you hit addiction, all you want is that substance you're into. Mine was alcohol, and I wanted it every day.
Okay.
And yeah, pretty much it does get to that point.
So it fogs your whole mind. There's no place for nothing else.
Nothing else, nothing else. I had the prettiest girls, you know what I mean? In high school, I had the prettiest girls. How'd I say, was always dressing nice, you know what I mean? I had it going, you know what I mean? I had the mother of my kids, you know what I mean? Even though we weren't rich, we had a roof over our head. But it came down to the point where I just didn't give a damn no more. I wanted the bottle. They would go to the store. My daughter would tell her mother if she didn't see a bottle in the shopping cart, like, Mom, we forgot Dad's bottle. You know what I mean? Or, hey, look, that's Dad's bottle right there. That's how bad it got, dude. Yeah. I was going everywhere drunk, pretty much. I would go to AA meetings with a fifth in my waist. Go to the washroom, take a couple swigs of that fifth, and get on the pulpit and start talking shit like if I was a changed man.
The speech. Wow, man. Wow, I'm
I really put on an
impressed.
act for a long time that I wasn't an alcoholic, you know, and I was.
So just to keep the real life going.
Yeah, I kept the lie going for such a long time, dude. Such a long time. I made it look like I was just Mr. Cool that could drink. No, I made a fool of myself, dude. You know what I mean? Pretty much.
So once you said it's enough with these guys, you called them up and they said, "Yeah, come over." So what happened after that?
I did the 6-month program. I found me a sponsor, you know what I mean? Somebody that I was in a program with prior that was sponsoring now. I got into the big book as far as all like doing the steps and like, you know, but it just wasn't for me, you know what I mean, as far as living off that doctrine as the big book. I don't know, I just for me, I'll be honest with you, what's kept me going and not going back was what happened during that time. You know what I mean? As far as like everything, all the bad, is like it keeps me away from a shot. Plus, obviously, I'm scared of having a seizure. Obviously, if I drink, you know what I mean. Just one day, just talking to you right now, seize out because I wanted to take a shot. You know what I mean?
Not worth
It's not worth it, dude. You know.
Exactly.
And things are getting so much better. Like it's 3 years now, and I've done so much in these 3 years. You know what I mean? Vacations, obtaining things I wanted, not things that I had to settle for. And pretty much it's good. I'm building relationships now that are not forced. You know, they're coming automatically into life. You know, and it just feels good.
Dude, you're alive. I would not think you had that past
Oh yeah.
if I saw you just today.
It's crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not here like, oh yeah, look at me, I rock designer. No, it's nothing like that, you know what I mean? Just because you see me with a few rings on and a watch and a couple chains, it's humble, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I tell people, I didn't have a pot to piss in. I didn't have not even a penny. Nobody wanted to give me not even 50 cents. But I understand it why, you know what I mean? Now I do, you know, but how do I say it? If I could do it, anybody could do it, dude. Cause I made such a fool of myself. I I was in the rock bottom. Like if you go to like people that knew me from back in the day, they're amazed right now. Like it's a miracle. No, it's not a miracle. It was me. It was God's will, my will. You know what I mean? Both our wills together. You know, and God played a big part in that.
So tell me, what motivates you right now?
What motivates me now? Good question. I don't know. That's a good question. You know, motivation for me right now is just seeing the bills paid. You know what I mean? Because I could enjoy what's going on. You know, I could fall back on something now. You know, and once I see that's done, it's all like, hey, we're doing good in life. You know what I mean? Compliments from other people, which I don't really like too much because I don't like the whole like being the center of something pretty much. But yeah, I get compliments once in a while. Sometimes they boost you up, you know what I mean? Getting messages from people you haven't talked to in a while, some stuff like that boost you up. And yeah,
So you're getting your life back and improved then.
little by little, that I can say that's day by day, you know?
Awesome, dude.
But day by day is not living in the struggle now. It's more about like day by day, that what's next tomorrow, you know what I mean? Like you're ready.
Do you have consequences from that period of time right now?
Yeah, yeah, a lot, you know. I think we all do, you know, from everything we do.
For sure.
And yeah, like I said, I burned a lot of bridges. You know, there was a lot of back and forth going on with a lot of people, you know what I mean? And yeah, it hurted a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? So like this day, yeah, there's probably people that are still holding a grudge because hate's a big word, you know? I'm not gonna say, oh, that person hates me. No, they're probably holding a grudge because of what I did or how I acted or, you know what I mean? And it had everything to do with it, you know what I mean, with the alcohol. So I take my actions and I accept consequences for it, you know what I mean? Hey, we're all human, you know what I mean? If you can't accept the fact that somebody's changed, you know what I mean, and hold a grudge, only God judges.
So, what would you tell people that is right in between that line of alcoholism? Would you tell them, go with it, you gotta enjoy or feel
I'm
it
gonna
when
be
it
honest with you.
is?
If you're the type of person that could drink a bottle and wake up to go to work without a problem and having not to drink a shot in the morning because you feel like you need to because of the night before, then so be it. Be the drinker. You know what I mean? You're a functional drinker. I got nothing bad against people that drink. I hang out at bars. I hang out with people that drink. I be at parties. You know what I mean? There's liquor there. Um, I don't judge nobody that drinks. You know what I mean? There's people that can handle their liquor. But there's people like me that I'll take one shot and I'll never stop. Now that's the problem. See what I mean? These people can stop, I can't. So that's the difference, you know?
So once you get self control, you're out of there.
Acceptance more. You know, once you accept that it's the reality of what's really happening, then you could probably start taking self-control because at that moment you still don't got control of what's going on around you. You know what I mean? So once you accept things and start seeing things that it's your fault, then you know what I mean? That's where it all starts for me.
I think that to me is the difference between a man and a child. Being able to face your shit, face what you did, face what happened when you got involved, answer some questions. That's something that is definitely someone with character. So if we keep on showing those things in our daily lives, they will for sure improve.
Of
Improve
course,
it.
of course, hell yeah.
So what can you tell us about accepting the truth? When was it that you really knew that you needed truth over anything else?
I don't. I'll be honest with you. It was this time I went and got my life together in January 15th, 2023. That I went back to rehab. I remember the date like this because it was just, a start to something great. Like it's greatness.
Awesome.
So pretty much it was just that, and yeah, that was the day.
So, how was it after that? What was the hardest part?
All the withdrawals kicked my ass. Vomiting, seizures, cold sweats, shakes. Um, a lot of people say they get nightmares. You know what I mean? I really didn't have nightmares. I was just more of a tossing and turning guy. You know what I mean? Dude, it was so bad. You know what I mean? And coming off of withdrawals of alcohol, that's like you could die. That's actually the
Wow.
number one, I guess, drug substance that you can actually die off the withdrawals, where you had to actually dose down. And I actually just quit cold turkey. It was so bad that I was on my way back from Florida and I was like this on the plane, and I had to wait like 3, 4 hours on another plane at another city. And oh my God, it was just hell.
Was there some self dialogue there? Were you saying something to yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a seizure. I'm gonna have a seizure. I'm gonna fucking pass out on this plane. Fuck, my credit card's empty. I need another shot. Fuck it, just take the shot. And I'm on my way to rehab. I even called the debit card I had. It had like $2 in it. I landed the plane and the debit card had $200. So God was basically like, "You're not drinking, mug." I don't know what happened there. You know what I mean? It was just weird. But the card had money. But I just wanted a shot, dude. I was dying in that airplane.
Wow. So, when was the first big reward you got from all this first struggle?
Big reward. I'll say my career. My career. Um, at the rehab, I graduated after 6 months. I did auto glass for most of my teenage years and 20s in
Nice.
Chicago. I told myself, like, why don't you get back in the profession, you know? And I remember telling one of the guys in rehab, like, hey, I'm gonna call this company up and watch, I'm gonna get hired. They're like, yeah, try. I called that company, and they're gonna see this. I called this company up for about a week and a half straight, every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. Hey, how you doing? Can I speak to your boss? He's not in. All right, cool. I'll give him a call back tomorrow. Spent like that for a whole week and a half. So one day I called him, and the guy picked up. He was like, hey, how can I help you? And pretty much, he was like, come in, and I got my career back. And that's how that happened. And I'm still there to this day.
Still there, dude. That's awesome.
hmm Same job right after that. Through them, I was able to get my house, my car finance, my credit's boosting up. They help me out with everything I need as far as like I do the work. Obviously, I get paid by check, but they got me in a good path. They worry about me. You know what I mean? I'm able to come on vacation. I'm able to come on this podcast.
Nice, dude.
Pretty much, they're good people, man. It's real good. So
How about your old friends? Were they contacting you, telling you to get back to that life, or?
no, you know what? To be honest with you, I think people took a hold of the respect already and seen that I'm serious about what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like I don't be bragging about like, look at me, I'm Mr. Sober. Look at me, I'm doing this. No, I'm very limited on what I post on my social media. If it's not advertisement for my music or any promotions we got going on, I don't post personal life. You know what I mean? But as far as all like that, yeah, they don't reach out to do anything like that. As a matter of fact, I had a couple parties, and they buy me the fake wine, as far as like the grape juice, the Welch and stuff you buy at a grocery store. Went to a couple weddings, they bought a Welch champagne, like no liquor. They already like they know. You know what I mean? I don't gotta tell them. Like, I guess when you do something and you're real about it, it shows, and people will know. as far as like, oh no, I don't do that. You see what I mean? Like, if you practice what you preach, people will know right away. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So it's all like now everybody knows the guy don't drink. Invite him anyways.
Have him around.
Oh, he's a cool guy. He don't drink though. You know what I mean?
That's so
Pretty
cool, man.
much.
That's so cool. So, what would your advice be for someone who's struggling to leave that thing?
Man, that's a big one, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Just,
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
oh yeah, there's a big light, dude. I don't know what color you want to see or light. You know what I mean? But there's a light, dude. Dude, there's a big light. But as far as like to tell somebody the advice to do something, it's all like I can't tell a person what to do. You know what I mean? I'm just that person. Me, I'm gonna just get you a bottle and be like, do you want to die or do you want to live? You know, either or. Does it scare you enough to keep going or not?
As blunt as it sounds, it is like that. Every choice, dude. Every choice.
I can't tell the next person what to do. You know, as far as all like, oh, you need to do this to get better because everybody's in a different situation. The most I can do is tell them my story. Like, oh, this is what I went through. And maybe they could get something out of it. But at the same time, I'm not telling the person what to do. You know what I mean? I can relate to them as far as all like, oh, this is what happened to me. And maybe you don't want to go down that route. I'm just saying because, you know, these people are dealing with depression, anger issues, lonely issues. So you're bound to see one of these people dead before you see an average old person dead. You know what I mean? I just lost a lot of friends to this in the recent 3 years I've been right. And it's been a lot of people I lost to it. So if that doesn't scare you, then
How do you feel when you go to those funerals, knowing that it could have been you if you hadn't
mm,
got to that point
to
of,
be honest, as far as like how do I feel? Yeah, I feel bad because it's another friend lost. But at the same time, I feel angry because, come on, man, you knew this. We were in this together. You know what I mean? And you chose the easy way out. That's what it is. It's the easy way out. You know what I mean? So what's next?
not a lot of people say it that way, to be honest. And it is a hard thing to say, but since everything we do is our choice, we cannot blame situations. Because if we are pushed onto some direction, we still got our choices to make.
Yeah.
That's what facing the truth is about. To know that sooner or later you will still find out it is your responsibility. It is your choice and it is your price to pay. What do you look forward to this coming years?
Some of my friends now, you know what I mean? The ones that are around, they all got kids now. So everybody's a dad or a mom. You know what I mean? So the ones that I got around for this year is just all like, let's get somewhere we're not right now, but higher, you know? Doesn't have to be by a million miles, just baby steps. Just let's get somewhere, you know? Where? Like I said, where will we end up tomorrow? Who knows? So,
Yeah. Only time will tell.
yeah, exactly.
And how about your children? How are your kids? How do they look at you right now?
Well, that's like how do I say, since we're doing this topic, we're gonna be real about it. Right now, that's still in an emotion effect. You know what I mean? Like I said, how everything's still falling back in play. Not everything has fallen back in play. Now, relationship wise, as far as with the mother of the kids, awesome. You know, there is a little issue that goes behind that as far as with the new marriage. And how do I say? It's not much to say because I don't want to get nobody in trouble over it. You know what I mean? But right now, how I say is difficult in that aspect. You know what I mean? Not as far as where, like with her, more of a like her and her household. You know what I mean? I try to be, you know, the best person I could be as far as, you know what I mean, a father and stuff like that. And it was taken away from me, you know, due to the alcoholism. And I don't blame it. You know what I mean? It was my actions. But I get, you know, I get good communication and good feedback from that person telling me to keep doing what I'm doing, you know what I mean? And that things might not be all right now, but that the kids do love me and, you know, keep doing what I'm doing, you know what I mean? That at the end of the day, that this is what I'm supposed to be doing and it's showing.
Well, that shows just some big motivation there, dude. So you still have your children to get back with, you know, to have them look at this new Ray now.
Yeah. I could be happy to say now on camera and stuff like that, that, you know, I'm not a deadbeat, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are gonna see this, you know what I mean? And I could say it, you know, I'm not a deadbeat, you know, because now I can actually do what I do. I'm actually doing what I have to do, you know what I mean? And it's getting recognized and it feels good. You know, I don't get recognized for it all the time, but it's what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to get recognized for it, you know what I mean? So, but the relationship is getting there, you know what I mean? I don't want to get back with the person, with the mother of my kids, you know? But at the same time, I just want to be there in an aspect to where we can relate with the kids and co-parent for the kids. You know what I mean? And right now, it's going in a good way. You know what I mean? If everything goes the way it's supposed to go, then hey, by next year, it looks like we'll be in a good season.
Dude, that is what we all want, to be able to show our offsprings, you know, what a good life is.
Yeah, I can sit here and talk to you about like everything's so perfect, but I still struggle day by day. You know what I mean? Not to go back to alcohol, but as far as all like to revive well once I messed up, you know?
But that shows continuity. That shows integrity. That shows hard work
That's my
every
motivation
day.
right there. My motivation is you're not done. You know what I mean? You still got to do this. You still got that. But I don't burden myself with putting everything on my back at the same time. You know, everything's going to come. God promised me everything's going to come and it's going to come.
Yeah, everything has its moment, right? Let's not hurry into things because we might not be ready for them.
Hmm.
This conversation inspires me a lot, dude. It's showing me how hard work drags you out from anywhere, how commitment does, how truth does, and how not fleeing from truth really takes us to our best version.
Exactly.
What other things are to fall into place?
We're doing a couple music videos now, you know, we got new projects coming out. I used to do music back in the day before the alcoholism hit, and we were going somewhere with it. And like I said, that it took my dreams away too. The alcohol took it. We're back in it. We're recording a couple new projects coming out soon. We have a couple already recorded, and been doing a couple promotions for it, and everything's been good with it so far. You know, I can't complain on that one.
Okay, tell us about it. Tell us where can we find you? As what's your tag?
You can find me on YouTube, Smiley RSR, or on Banditos Entertainment page, Facebook, Ray Smiley Reyes, or TikTok, Smileyville773. And you can check a couple things out there. I got a SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Smileyville. And we got some old tracks from back from 15 years ago there. You can check those out.
Music then. What is your inspiration right now? You're writing or recording? What is it?
Writing's always been something that I like doing, you know. I didn't have nobody to talk to like that. I was, like I said, a lonely drinker, you know. I wanted to be alone. And I guess writing just helped me a lot too, you know what I mean? I used to like to write just dumb stuff too. Not just something, oh, this is gonna be serious. But
Anything.
yeah, even if it didn't go nowhere, I would just write it, toss it up sometimes.
That's therapy, you know. That's cool, man. So, what other areas are you yet to discover or to pursue?
I don't know. I love the job I'm at. Um, the car I got is beautiful right now. I don't know. To be honest with you, maybe life, you know what I mean? What life has to offer. Like right now I'm in a stage where I want to buy my house within the next 3 years. So that's actually a goal I got set already.
Big change.
Yeah,
Big,
big change.
big goal, dude.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be a small one either. It has to be a big one because like I'm a confident person. So it has to be big because all my kids are gonna be around at that time. You know what I mean?
Nice, dude.
Dos alas on us, you know?
Cool,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Yeah, I will hear the news about your home. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, those are the big plans right there.
So, what is it that helps you or helped you a lot during the hardest times? Was it just getting through with the process or getting free from whatever was holding you back?
I guess I just wanted to prove everybody wrong that it could be done.
Big cojones.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
From losing our respect from everybody, you know what? It could be done. All right? Prove them wrong.
I like that.
But it
So
wasn't
cool.
about them though, you know? Everything was about me. But at the same time, I was coming to prove everybody wrong. That I wasn't that person. I have a person that told me that I didn't deserve the air I breathe. They said the air I breathe, a new living baby should have been using it. And to this day, that person that told me that now congratulates me and honors me for everything that I have accomplished. Tells me God bless me through messages, and pretty much that one person that told me that.
Wow.
So guess what? What I started, what I wanted to do, I achieved it because how do I say it? It was for me, but I really wanted to prove that one person wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. And to this day, there's people that still doubt. There's people that, oh no, he's doing it for an act. Oh no, he's not legit. All right, but that's just how do I say it? That's just the devil, or you know, I'm spiritual a little bit. You know, that's the devil using these type of people in order trying to get to you because he knows where to get you. You know.
Which buttons to press, right?
But if you know where you're heading and you know what you want and you know who's your guider, which is God, dude, ain't nothing could turn you back to what you went through. You know what I mean? Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. You know what I mean? Because God is with me.
Who's against? What feeds this commitment? What makes you be as determined? If someone is lacking that specific trait, how would you tell them to bring it up?
Like I said, I don't like telling nobody what to do. You know, to each his own. But as far as for me, commitment, I just love the feeling of success. You know what I mean? Earning wise, you know what I mean? We're not rich yet. You know what I mean? Look how I said yet. You know, because you got to be confident in everything you do. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I guess life is going good the way it's going. You know what I mean? And my determination is to be that great man. Not to no woman right now, obviously, because I'm single. That's where I want to stay at because life is so much simpler like that. But you know what? To be that great man, that great father figure, and also continue to be that example that that person might not tell me like, oh, you're an example to me. You know what I mean? Because some people, their pride gets to them. You know what I mean? But if I keep doing what I do, you know what I mean? It might help the next person. Like, I want what he wants, you know, but not out of envy, more of like, man, what is he doing? You know what I mean? And that's where I come in. God's been a major factor, and boom, that's where God takes over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Pretty much.
Truth. You're just sharing what worked, right?
For me, you know what I mean? It could work for anybody else. Anybody.
So that is so refreshing when you see someone so confident and you don't hear ego speaking. That's so cool, man. Keep
I'll
it
tell you
up.
what, I'm at a point in my life right now where even if you tried, There's nothing that could bring me down. You know, I lost everybody I love already.
You know how that feels.
Exactly. I'm limited to what I let hurt me, you know? And even at that point, you still couldn't bring me down. Why? And it's not because, oh, I think I'm better than you. No, 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 no. Dude, I overcame it already, dude. At my job, they're still trying to figure out a way to get me mad.
Really?
Yeah. I tell them, you could do whatever you want. Anything. You're not going to get me mad. You can't get that emotion out of me. You can't. Because the moment you get mad or the moment you get that emotion out where, you know what I mean, the frustration, that's the moment they know they hit you. You know what I mean? You can't get to me that easy. Yeah. I can't give you the satisfaction of you got me. No. Not at all. You know what I mean? You're hurting yourself. You're losing sleep over somebody that's just wanting good in life. You know what I mean? Because even the people that wish bad on me, I wish good on you. Why? Because I learned the hard way that wishing bad on anybody is just wishing bad on yourself. Because I used to laugh at those people that were all messed up. And I became one of those people. You know what I mean? And God handles a lot of people how he wants. You know what I mean? You can't play with his name.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So
You get the treatment that you need.
yeah, I'm not the chosen one, but I'll tell you what, you can't mess with God's people. You know what I mean? I'm just a sheep, you know, and I'm in his hands.
We all are.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about this moment that you wanted no lies to yourself, from yourself? Has that ever been a challenge of lying to yourself anymore, or not even?
No, not in today's world. Not in my sober world. You know, Mm-mm. Not at all.
So you committed to give yourself only truth now.
I'm committed to give myself everything I need within myself and to push myself that extra mile. Because at the end of the day, you know, anybody could say it, but at the end of the day, if I fall, what am I going to fall back to? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like right now, you can only go up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see.
It's much better that way.
And once you find that you are better off with no space for anger or bad wishes or resentment or anything like that, it is just a consequence to not want that ever again, right?
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say I don't get mad. You know, I get frustrated. That's the difference. You know, like when things are not going how they're supposed to. You know, but I don't get to the point where I wanna get down or do something where I'm not supposed to be doing. You know, so there's still emotions still involved. They don't all go away, and I can't sit here and be like, yeah, but they're just not as useful no more. You know what I mean? They don't got so much control over me as they used to.
And but you recognize that you don't want to like follow them, right? You know that they're not going to do any good on you.
Yeah, plus I'm at a state of mind where I feel like if I feel one of those emotions or feelings are coming, I'll try to take another route. You know what I mean? Like, all right, what are we doing that we're getting to this point? You know what? Let's take a breather. Let's sit back. Let's recap on this because we don't need to get to that point. But it's not to the point where I need a shot. You know what I'm saying?
That's wise. That's what real men do, you know? Do you share the thought that life starts at 40?
Life starts whenever you wanted to start it. You know, there's no age limit to this thing. You know, everybody's going through it at every age. You know, so
Yeah.
life starts when you wanted it to start. Obviously not when you're a kid because you know you ain't got no say so. But once you're an adult, you started when you want to start it. You know,
Yeah. Some are pushed to be adults in
younger.
childhood. Yeah. I think this is perfect to end.
Okay.
I think we got a very good example of what needs to happen in someone's mind to really come to the best version of her or himself. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Ray. You have given us a lot of food for thought, and I will stay in touch, and please come back whenever you want.
Yes, sir.